Going live. Gonna get more and more studio content coming. Let me set this camera up real quick for y'all. Just chop it up a little bit, man. It's been a really busy month of August so far. Uh, I can't complain, man. It's been really good. I hope you all have been having a great month as far as being productive and making things happen for yourself. So hopefully everybody's having a great month. Everybody had a great first half of the year, and this second half is what you want it to be, man. Today we got a session coming in by the name of a guy by the name of Quaylen. I'm actually excited about this session. We are wrapping up his project, so this will be his first project that we've done together. So eventually we'll be getting the mixing process and all of that. He'll be releasing some singles soon. It's gonna be a good time, man. So we just got a quick 3-hour session today. I think we probably might end up doing a new song, but for the most part, we're touching up the songs. Like I like working with artists that know how to take their time and perfect, right? The way I rather work, and this is just me personally, but I work however, the artist prefers to work. But the way I rather work is we take our time and do it the right way, right? Instead of me having to mix something 8 different times, I rather us take our time and record it 5 different times to make sure it's the perfect sound that the artist wants and that that I like to work with as well. Certain caliber of sound, certain sometimes we don't want to work with really poor low quality sound as engineers. Our sound and these songs and the different projects that we work on that get published, that is our discography, that is our portfolio. So when someone says, hey, send me, you got a deal, you got $100 quick mixes going on this week, hey, send me a song that you did a quick mix on. I'm able to go to certain songs and send them links and send them different published songs, and they're able to say, "Oh yeah, that's definitely worth $100 if you're making it sound like that." All right, and then on the flip side of that, I'm also going to ask the artist for any kind of references. A lot of artists sometimes they might come and they might start off on a low tier quality of recording. So a lot of times I want to hear what the artist is doing as well. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? We in the studio today, man. But I like to know what the artist is used to hearing as well. So just like some artists, like I said before, they will ask engineers, hey, send me something, send me a track that you've done, send me a mix, an example of a mix, because they want to know that whatever we're charging, that they're getting their money worth. Same thing with engineers. I want to know if you're an artist, you're soliciting my service, you want me to mix and record your music, you want me to put my name as well on your music, my reputation on your music. I want to hear your music. I want to hear what you got going on. I want to hear the quality, what you're used to, and then we can go from there. So the great thing about this session today is I'm working with an artist that really takes his time and perfects the recording process. All right, so that stops me from having to mix it 4 or 5 different times trying to find the sound we're looking for. We're going to get that sound in this booth right here. And then when the mixing process comes, it's a lot easier, it's a lot quicker process because, like I said, we're working on a project, we're working on a tape. All right, so all of these songs have to be a certain quality for that tape to be cohesive, for that tape to really flow. All right, so like I said before, this guy, his name is Quaylen, and he'll be here soon. Now, the cool thing about this studio, a lot of studios have different microphones in the studio itself. All right. So if you pay attention, as you can see, if you know anything about this right here, you'll know that this is Apollo. This is the Apollo console for your interface. All right. So we're working out of Apollo Octo interface here. And these are all of your different inputs that we can record through, which is really dope. All right. So it's 3 different mics in there. We are recording off of the Neumann U87 and the Avalon preamp vocal chain. So we're coming out of the Avalon preamp right into that Neumann U87, which of course top of the line vocal chain, top of the line preamp in Avalon, top of the line microphone in that Neumann U87. All right, so that's the vocal chain that we're using for this particular room. There are, like I said, different microphones and different preamps that we can use, outboard gear that we can use to make another vocal chain. I just like using the Avalon and the U87. I love that warm sound that this Avalon preamp provides. All right, so that's what we're doing here in this console right here. So on this standalone app, this is your console. This is how you can control your inputs, your outputs of your actual Apollo interface. All right, so like I said, this is an Apollo Octo. So what we have here, we have the different channels that we want to use, but we can also put plugins on those individual channels that we are recording through. All right, so this is how we get a digital vocal chain. I don't have any plugins on this particular input channel because, like I said before, I'm using this Avalon preamp. So I'm going to show you guys this right here. So this is our Avalon preamp. All right, so I can affect all of my compression here. I can affect a small little bit of EQ. I love to pull some bass out of that Neumann U87 in there because that Neumann U87 really push low frequencies on the microphone. So we're going to slide through this way. Look at this, man. Really cool psychedelic vibes. Look at all the vinyls that's in here. Old school DJ equipment. I mean, it's just really, really a nice vibe in here. So this Neumann U87 right here, it really pushes the low end on vocals, all right? So on my Avalon preamp out here, and anytime you're dealing with a lot of analog gear push low end, all right? So you want to kind of dive out, which is why a lot of microphones will have different roll-offs, right? So where you can roll off 80 hertz, you can do a 10 decibel pad, different things like that, because you want to pull out a lot of that low end that's in a lot of the vocals. And a lot of this analog gear, a lot of this old school top-notch gear that give us that analog warmth, it pushes lows. All right, so on this Avalon preamp, I'm taking my bass frequencies down, my low mid a little bit. I'm actually pulling my treble down a little bit as well to be able to kill some of those S's. All right. So, like I said before, man, it's going to be a really good session today. I've been working with Quaylen for a minute. Of course, on this channel, we will be pushing and showing some of his, recording process. We're getting all kind of footage, behind-the-scenes footage of different artists recording. So when I come in here with different artists, I have my Sony camera set up. I like to record them, and I like to show their process. So when they actually drop their projects, they have something to help push the project. All right, so on the Rebel Ears channel, you guys will be seeing some behind-the-scenes recording footage when all of these different artists start dropping these different projects that have been in the studio so far. Kind of similar to what we did with Rambo. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'm about to pull up this template. I want to show y'all this template real quick that I built for this room. And then I'm going to end the live because the artist will be here soon. Eventually, we'll probably be able to go live with the artists, but like I said before, they are working on a project right now. So it's hard to get a lot of artists to agree to go live or anything like that, man. Hey, Sebastian, man, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it, man. You know, that's what it's all about, bro. It's all about just spreading knowledge, man, and trying to create some vibes for the creatives. There's a lot of us out here that really love what we do. We are creative individuals, and the thought process and the things that we have to try to put in our mind and maneuver through to become creative. It's imperative that we find other individuals that's like us, and we find communities to where people can understand us and how we think. I'm not an artist, but I am an engineer. I am a creative. You can be a painter. You can be all kind of different avenues to being a creative, and we all need that community. So thank you for letting me know that I'm teaching something real quick. Like, all right, let me see. All right, somebody pull up this template real quick, man, and then like I said, I'll end live. But thank y'all for tuning in so far. If you all are enjoying this content, these lives will get a whole lot more intricate, and we will really be diving into a lot of mixing and recording. If you are enjoying the vibe so far, this is just a quick live, just a sample of what you guys will see throughout the rest of this year. If you are enjoying that, please hit the subscribe button. All right, leave us a comment, leave us a like. Even share to other people that might be creatives that might want to start tuning in to these types of things, because what I'm going to start doing is going live in these studio sessions and doing things with you all, interacting with you all. You guys might have certain requests. You all might want to actually talk about a certain subject or a certain topic that we can do right here in this studio right here, man. And we can kind of learn together, and we can pick each other's brain and build that creative community right here on the live. We also have a Discord, Rebel Ears Discord. So we are building the community. Like we said before, 2025, the word is community. We are looking for like-minded individuals that want to build. All right, so I'm gonna name this. I always name my sessions the artist name and the date we work on it. Right. So today is the 24th. So I will put Quaylon B 824, right? And then if he has another song we work on, it'll be Quaylon B 2 824. And then that way I just can keep up with the days and the dates of what we're working on. And inside those files, I'll actually have the name of the actual song that we're working on. So this one will be Quaylon B 824. Interleaved. We always want to go interleaved. Interleaved is basically making it a stereo. So you don't have a mono left and a mono right signal. You have a stereo left and right signal. So you always want your sessions in an interleaved form. So anytime you come against this Pro Tools window when you first starting up a session, make sure you check the box that says interleaved. All right, because when you bounce out your sessions and you start to move around with your MP3 and your WAV files, you're going to want stereo files. All right, that's what interleave does for you. All right, and then I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this session to the computer desktop, only because a lot of times these different studios have different Pro Tools settings, and sometimes running Pro Tools out of your hard drive, different things like that can throw things off. So what I always do, I save my session to the desktop. I run it from the desktop. I'll pull my template off of my hard drive, throw my template on the desktop, open up all my sessions from the desktop, run them all from the desktop. After all my sessions are done, I take all of those sessions that I ran from the desktop and I copy them back over to my hard drive. All right, from there, once I know that I have all my files and everything is the same from my hard drive, I actually delete them from the desktop. I take them off of my desktop. I delete them from the trash bin. So when you click on the trash bin, you can't even see anything that we worked on. I do that with everything. If I click on the song that we've done and I'm playing a song in here just to hear it over the speakers, when I'm done playing that song, I will completely delete it from the computer. No one can come back and listen to that song that we've done. If you're an engineer, producer, this is something that you really need to get used to doing. Make sure you're wiping all of the evidence and all of the creativity that you all are putting together. Wipe it off of these public computers, because people steal, and we know they do. All right, so I'm going to save this to the desktop, but guarantee when I walk up out of the studio, nobody will ever know that it was on the desktop. There will be no remnants of this session whatsoever. All right, so boom. Here's my template. It's kind of similar to the recording template that I built for Castle Hill as well. It's a lot of plugins on this template. Like I said, this is not my mixing template. I usually will take my files, consolidate them, and then, just kind of use my audio files and upload those audio files into an actual mixing template, because I mix with a lot of UAD plugins. I record with a lot of Waves plugins because most studios have Waves. All studios don't run on Universal Audio. All right, so this studio is running off of this Universal Audio Apollo 8, this Octo, but a lot of studios don't have Universal Audio interfaces, so they don't really need Universal Audio plugins. Universal audio plugins are also way more expensive than Waves. So I built this template off of straight Waves plugins. The reason why it's so plugin heavy, well, depending on the session, I'll take a whole section out of this and make it inactive, and that'll save me some processing throughout my recording. But the reason why it is so plug-in heavy is because I can record and just drop it straight down, and I can record and drop it down, record, drop it down, and every time I do a recording, no matter where I drop it down, it's going to sound the same. So when we're doing a lot of punching in, different things like that, like you see all of these different blue tracks, this is all for vocals right here for one artist, right? And then we go down and we got a whole hook for the same thing for all the different artists, all of these different tracks. I can record and just drop down. If you really see, most of the plugins are kind of the same. And then towards the end of the session, I can always go in, delete whatever plugins I don't need. A lot of these plugins are gonna be bypassed, but they're there if I need them. All right. So like I said before, this is just a quick recording template. When you're building your recording templates for the studio, make sure you build your templates for the plugins of the studio that you're working in. All right. So if you know that you're working in the studio with a lot of, like I have some UAD plugins on this particular template because I know that I'm UAD in here, but it's still mostly Waves, right? Because what I've done is I've taken a template from another studio that really worked really well with me, and I just moved some plugins around, changed some plugins around. The routing and the structure of the template is the same because it's all about workflow when we're recording. All right, so I've built a workflow to where I can record super fast, I can punch in, and before they even go back and start recording again, they can hear themselves sounding pretty doggone decent. I already got some compression, some EQ, some reverb on that. So once they hear what they just did 2 seconds ago, they're like, oh man, that sounds pretty good. Now they're ready to just keep on flowing. And towards the end of the session, it saves me time on actually trying to make it sound good because I'm making it sound good as we're recording. All right, I'm tweaking plugins, I'm removing plugins, I'm adding whatever I need to add. I'm getting rid of tracks that I'm not using just for processing wise. Getting this session going really easily through this template. So I hope y'all enjoyed this live, man. I got to do this more. I really enjoyed doing this. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all pretty much kept it going the whole time. A nice little 18-minute live. We will be doing more. We are at Mud Knock Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, man. And it's a vibe in here. You got me? It's a vibe. So we got a lot of great content coming out of this room right here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm about to prepare for this artist to be here. And until next time, refuse to sound ordinary. Thank y'all. Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, that comment, that share, all of the buttons. Hit all the buttons. Push all the buttons, especially that subscribe one. Rub ears out. We'll see y'all on the next one. Yeah.